Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. If anybody's not aware of this is a genuine investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, we do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video, we're going to be looking at MMTLP and comparing a market resolution versus a legal resolution. We're also going to be looking at a potential Korean investigation into naked short selling and MMTLP. And then we're going to be looking at Meta Materials, also looking like they are losing potential patents and trademarks, and then finishing off by having a look at the weekly watch list review. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So first of all, from Market Watch, we can see that this week's US inflation report could have serious implications for stocks, and if the number is softer than expected, then a signal from the Fed to suggest that an interest rate cut is likely around September could be a huge boost for the market. So let's see what happens in terms of US debt. We can see US national debt is surging to record levels without reform, raising the prospect of a debt crisis. So a long-term potential problem there for the government. And from Market Watch, we can see here overall Wall Street is feeling better than normal about the second quarter earnings. But before we look at the stocks that are due up for earnings, let's have a look at the key dates this week. We have Powell speaking on Tuesday. We also have Powell's testimony on Wednesday, and these are the two key dates that we will be watching. So in terms of earnings, we can see here the second half of the year earnings are now starting, and the key ones that we will be looking at include WD-40, we have Vista, Citi, Bank, amongst many others. And finally, news with regard to Tesla. We have been covering this recently, and we can see that Tesla has traded green for the previous 8 consecutive days, and this is the longest winning streak for Tesla since 2023. So I'm assuming the cost to the short sellers could be approaching in excess of $3 billion. Let's start by giving a shout out here to Meta News, who've posted with regard to the news from South Korea and stated that an MMTLP shareholder in South Korea has reported the MMTLP issue and timeline to the Korean Financial Supervisory Service. So those of you who've been following the channel will know that South Korea is very aggressive in dealing with potential market manipulation, naked short selling and general short selling in itself, and the rules and regulations there are very tight. So the quotation here is one of the TRCH holders in Korea has asked for any updates on X and reached out to the person in the Korean Financial Supervisory Service, and it's with the broker. It's not entirely obviously familiar with the Korean security system, but the timeline for MMTLP has been shared. So let's get information with regard to the broker. So the broker is called Kiwoom Securities, and the message on the left there is the complaint has been filed and has been transferred to the company, and is scheduled to be processed within 14 days, and obviously they will contact you. So obviously it's going to cover things like naked short selling. It's going to look at obviously in Korea, the current ban on short selling of stocks that is going on until the first quarter of 2025, and we know obviously at the time of MMTLP there was not a ban of short selling in Korea, so there shouldn't be an issue there. And the general message here is if you are a South Korean resident and you have held shares in MMTLPs, then you can also contact your authorities, and the email address there you'll be able to see on the screen. So let's now move on to look at information with regard to moving towards market-based resolution or legal resolution. So Jalen has stated here, it's important for all new journalists joining the MMTLP fight to know about multiple communications between FINRA, i.e. Robert Cook, the liar, or alleged liar, and Greg McCabe. So this is the correspondence from Greg McCabe, date we can see here, dated January the 23rd, 2024, where he's stated and confirmed to Robert Cook, or should we say Robert Crook, that they have numbers to suggest much higher than 2.65 million shares of shorted MMTLP, in contradiction to the FAQs. And he stated here that there are potential multiple multiples more than 2.6 million shares. So that again is in significant contradiction to the FINRA FAQ. So moving on to the resolution, what James has stated is a market-based resolution would not end well for brokers and hedge funds. Definitely agree with that. I think a market-based resolution would cost them billions and billions and possibly hundreds of billions of dollars. And to be fair, the share count would have been kept between Nexbridge Hydrocarbons, Congress and regulators. Public don't need to know if we are going to get a market-based resolution, so long as trading with closed position only continues and there are no more new buys. However, is that going to happen? Unlikely, but it is what we have lost. And what James has also stated here, if we compare that with what a judge might say, the judge might focus on the trading history. You might look at the $2.90 price if you are considering damages. So basically, for us to get true justice, it would have to be a reflection of what we should have got or could have got, and we're entitled to get was from open trading with position close only. And in the previous videos, I've covered some of these prices going into the hundreds and into the thousands per share for MMTLP. Let's now have a look at Meta Materials, and in the previous video I did cover one of the 8Ks that they released with regard to a sale of assets, so go ahead and check that out. But what we're now going to focus on is the trademarks and the patents that are now not being renewed, allegedly. So in terms of the scientific advisory board on the Meta Materials website, apparently this is gone. The co-founders, including George Palikaras, also gone. Engineers and scientists seem to have gone, and offices and facilities bar seems to be also going. So in terms of the tech, we know they're selling that very, very cheap. They've removed the patent information from the website, and we know how many patents they had. I think at one point it was in excess of 500. So their patents are now seemingly being left to expire. So let's have a look at some of these ones. First of all, we can see here plasma fusion status dead, and again the owner there is Meta Materials, or should we say was. Quantum also dead. Again, owner Meta Materials, should we say was. And Vlepsis, which we thought had huge potential, also we can see here is dead. And then let's have a look at a reaction from Meta News, who stated, what exactly is Meta Materials focusing on? Looks like they got rid of a lot and now they are selling nanotech, which was also covered in one of the previous videos. But it was interesting to find out what would be their business plan.